We are living in a time like no other in history, but fortunately for us, God wrote it all down in His prophecies. Find out what prophecies happened this week ripped straight from the headlines. Stay tuned for the Prophecy Headlines news show on The Remnant's Call.
The Remnant's Call, End Time Prophecy.
La llamada al remanente, profecías de fin de los tiempos.
Now, this will also always be on our website on Monday.
Esto también lo ponemos en la página web el lunes.
You go to the Remnant's Call on our webpage.
Puedes ir a la llamada al remanente en nuestra página web.
Okay? The first story comes out of Israel.
La primera noticia viene desde Israel.
See, the Jewish people in Israel,
La gente judía en Israel,
no matter even if you hate them,
no importa si los odias,
they show love because Torah is inside of them.
ellos muestran amor porque la Torah está dentro de ellos.
30 Jewish young people,
30 jóvenes judíos,
even though the Syrians are technically at war with Israel,
aunque los sirios están técnicamente en guerra con Israel,
they gave aid to the Syrian young people.
fueron a ayudar a la gente siria, a los jóvenes sirios,
Because Syria has been totally destroyed, everybody.
porque Siria está totalmente destruida.
So these 30 young Jewish people gave of themselves to help the Syrian children.
Estos 30 jóvenes judíos fueron a ayudar a los jóvenes sirios.
Now here's a really beautiful story.
Esta es una historia hermosa.
They found a synagogue dating back 2,000 years ago this week.
Encontraron una sinagoga que data de 2000 años de antigüedad.
And there was information regarding Miriam Magdala.
Y encontraron información acerca de María Magdalena, Miriam Magdala,
Okay? That she was there.
que ella estuvo allí.
And you can go and see this place now.
Puedes ir y mirar en este lugar.
And you know, Yeshua did a lot of things right in that area.
Yeshua hizo muchas cosas en esa área.
Okay? Here is why we're not going to have peace.
Por esta razón es que no vamos a tener paz.
One of the Port Authority, the Palestinian Authority,
Una persona del ministerio de la autoridad palestina
okay, he says we will not have peace with Israel
dijo que no tendremos paz con Israel
unless you give us the Western Wall.
a no ser que nos des la pared del oeste,
That's the wall where you see all the Jews go to and they pray by it.
o el muro de los lamentos donde los judíos van y oran.
That's the holiest site in all of Judaism.
Este es el lugar más santo del judaísmo.
Okay? And he says you have to give it to us.
Y ellos dijeron que tienen que entregarlos.
And Israel will never give that up.
Y Israel nunca va a entregar eso.
Anti-Semitism, watch this story, everybody.
Noticias de antisemitismo, mira esta historia.
In this first story,
En esta primera historia,
a British senator
un senador británico
who was originally born in Pakistan
que nació originalmente en Pakistán
stated that the Israelis in the Gaza Strip
dijo que los israelíes en la franja de Gaza
are like having a Holocaust in the Gaza.
es como que si están teniendo un holocausto en Gaza.
Let's get an understanding of the Holocaust, everybody.
Tengamos un entendimiento acerca del holocausto.
In the
primero.
Holocaust,
En el holocausto,
in Nazi Germany,
en Alemania nazi,
they gathered all the Jewish people
recogieron toda la gente judía
to murder them.
para asesinarlos.
Let me say that again. They gathered all the Jewish people
Recogieron toda la gente judía
to murder them.
para asesinarlos.
Israel says to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip,
Israel les dijo a los palestinos en la franja de Gaza,
stay over there and don't bother us.
quédense allí y no nos molesten.
That's what they do.
Eso es lo que
And they
hacen.
say, don't come to our land and we won't go to you.
No
We're
vengan
good.
a sus tierras, nosotros no vamos a las suyas, estamos bien.
But let's see something.
Pero veamos algo.
Let's see what God thought about this British senator saying this stuff.
Veamos qué Dios piensa acerca de lo que este senador británico dice.
Let's see what God thinks.
Veamos lo que Dios piensa
about a leader saying something like that about Israel.
acerca de un líder que diga esto acerca de Israel.
Here's the headline.
Este es el encabezado.
Biblical flooding spreads across United Kingdom in worst rainfall in over 200 years.
Inundaciones bíblicas se reparten en UK.
England.
En Inglaterra,
Inglaterra.
la peor lluvia en 200 años.
Okay? Let's take a look at some pictures about this flooding.
Aquí hay fotos de acerca de estas lluvias, de estas inundaciones.
That's a person's house in the bottom right-hand corner there.
Esa es la casa de una persona en la fotografía de abajo.
The water's up to their knees.
El agua les ha llegado hasta las rodillas.
That's going to destroy the foundation of their home that's behind them.
Esto va a destruir los fundamentos de la casa que está detrás.
Look at the picture on the left.
Mira la fotografía en la izquierda.
Those are all stores that are underwater.
Todas estas son tiendas que están bajo agua.
All the electrical work is going to have to be redone.
Todo el trabajo de electricidad tiene que volverse a hacer.
And where do people normally put their electrical panel?
¿Y dónde la gente pone los paneles eléctricos?
In the basement.
En el basement.
Basement, anybody? Basement?
Sótano. Sorry, I'm confusing with
All right. Next picture. Take a look at this. There's so
Miren
much
a
water there in a
esto.
boat.
Esa pareja está en un bote.
That's a street.
Esa es una calle.
You might not want to say that about Israel again.
Quizá no quieras hablar de Israel otra vez así.
All right. Let's go to the end time headlines.
Vámonos a los encabezados de los fines de los
Ripped
tiempos.
from the headlines.
Arrancada de los encabezados.
In our first story,
En nuestra primera historia
it comes from a prophecy
viene de la profecía,
written in Revelation chapter 22, verse 15.
escrito en Revelaciones 22, verso 15.
It says, outside of heaven
Dice que fuera del cielo
are the people who use drugs.
está la gente que utiliza drogas.
So outside of heaven are most of America.
Afuera del cielo está la mayoría de América.
Look at this next story.
Mira esta próxima historia.
There are over 70 million Americans right now
Hay acerca de 70 millones de americanos en este momento
taking medication for their mind.
que están tomando medicinas para su cabeza.
There are over 250 million prescriptions written in 2010.
Hubieron 250,000 prescripciones escritas el año pasado.
70% of Americans
70% de americanos
right now
en este momento
are on at least one prescription drug.
están por lo menos con una prescripción, una medicina de prescripción.
America spent over $280 billion
América gastó como 280 billones de dólares
on prescription drugs in 2013.
en medicinas, medicamentos.
That's a lot of
medicamentos.
drugs.
Son muchas drogas.
Who's outside of heaven?
¿Quiénes están afuera del cielo?
The Americans.
Los americanos.
Next prophecy.
Próxima profecía.
Also from Revelation 22:15.
También de Revelaciones 22:15.
If you're involved with the occult,
Si estás envuelto en lo oculto,
such as satanic rituals,
como ritos satánicos,
you will not be in heaven.
tú no vas a estar en el
Or
cielo.
Santeria.
Como la
Or if you're
santería.
going to those botanicals,
O cuando van a estas botánicas,
you will not be in heaven.
no vas a estar en el cielo.
In this next story,
En esta próxima historia,
we had a satanic ritual in Texas this past week.
tuvimos un rito satánico en Texas la semana pasada.
This girl that you see in the bottom right-hand corner,
Esta muchacha que ves en la esquina de la parte de abajo de la pantalla,
she brought her friend, this friend of hers,
ella trajo a su amiga
so that this guy, her friend, could kill this girl,
así este amigo de ella pueda matar a la amiga de ella.
the 16-year-old,
Esta muchacha de 16 años.
so that he could sell his soul to the devil.
Así él pudo vender su alma al demonio.
This is really happening, people.
Está pasando esto verdaderamente.
Next prophecy.
Próxima profecía.
In Matthew 24, verse 7.
En Mateo 24, verso 7.
Please pay attention to this stuff.
Por favor, pongan atención a estas
It's
cosas.
amazing.
Es
Talks
sorprendente.
about wars and rumors of wars in the end of days.
Habla de guerras y rumores de guerra en el fin de los tiempos.
As we were worshiping this past Saturday,
Como estuvimos alabando este pasado sábado,
the Iranians were running a video on their state-run television.
los iraníes estaban pasando un video en su televisión estatal.
And in this video,
Y en este video
they showed Iran destroying Israel
muestran a Irán destruyendo a Israel
and how they're going to do it.
y cómo es que lo van a hacer.
The video shows drones coming over from Iran,
El video muestra aviones drones que van hasta Israel,
first striking Israel cities.
atacando primero a las ciudades de Israel.
Then after there was chaos with that,
Y después, cuando hay un caos con eso,
they then sent ICBM, these big missiles from Iran
después de eso ellos mandan estos misiles o disparan estos misiles desde Irán
over to bomb Israel.
para bombardear Israel.
But they didn't stop there.
Pero esto no para allí.
There's an aircraft carrier group in the Mediterranean from America.
Hay un grupo, unos buques en el Mediterráneo.
Yeah, see. And they showed Iran sinking the American aircraft carrier.
Y muestran a Irán que destruye a estos buques navales americanos.
Because this is on state television,
Porque esto está en la televisión del gobierno,
by doing what they just did and sanctioned by the government,
haciendo lo que hicieron, sancionados por el gobierno.
we are at a state of war with the Iranians right now.
En este momento estamos en estado de guerra con Irán.
They're coming to pick a fight with us.
Están viniendo a pelear con nosotros.
The next story,
La próxima historia.
they also showed the world that they have long-range missiles now
También mostraron al mundo que tienen misiles de largo alcance
on Saturday.
el sábado.
They showed them test firing it.
Les mostraron que estaban probando estos misiles.
These missiles that can hit all of Europe.
Estos misiles pueden golpear en toda Europa.
They can't reach America yet,
No pueden alcanzar aún a América,
so they made something else that they showed this week.
pero hicieron algo más que mostraron esta semana.
That's their first submarine
Este es el primer submarino iraní
that they built
que ellos construyeron
to come to our shores,
para venir a nuestras costas,
to shoot a missile off
para disparar un misil
from the Gulf of Mexico
desde el Golfo de México
over the middle of the United States,
al medio de Estados Unidos,
causing something called an EMP,
causando algo que se llama una EMP,
which will knock the power out from California to New Jersey.
que destruirá la electricidad desde California hasta New Jersey.
And they're boldly proclaiming that they're going to destroy us.
Y ellos lo están diciendo de frente que van a destruirnos.
Get ready, everybody.
Prepárense.
Next prophecy.
Próxima profecía.
It talks about in Revelation 8, verse 12,
Habla en Revelaciones 8, verso 12,
that a third of the sun disappeared.
que la tercera parte del sol desaparece.
Anybody notice it's a little cold outside?
¿Alguien ha notado que está un poquito
Getting a lot
frío?
of snow?
Mucha nieve.
Well, why is that happening?
¿Por qué está pasando esto?
Because right now a third of the sun is missing.
Porque en este momento una tercera parte del sol está perdida.
There is a black spot on the sun
Hay una parte negra en el sol
that is larger than the planet Jupiter.
que es más grande que el planeta
It
Júpiter.
is más grande.
Es más grande, mucho más grande.
Okay? That's a lot of heat not to be coming this way.
Hay mucho calor que no va a venir por aquí.
Next story.
Próxima historia.
In Deuteronomy 28, verse 17,
En Deuteronomio 28, verso 17.
Jehovah says, when you don't follow my ways,
Jehová dice, cuando no sigues mis caminos,
I'm going to take away your food.
voy a quitarte la comida.
Here in the country of Bolivia.
Aquí en el país de Bolivia.
Where is Bolivia, right? South America, right?
Yeah.
South America. All
Bolivia
right.
en Suramérica o América del Sur.
It's pretty warm there, right, everybody?
Es abrigado allí.
Okay. Well, they had a lake freeze.
El lago se les congeló.
It got so cold, the lake froze.
Se hizo tan frío que el lago se congeló
And it killed the 6 million fish that are in the lake.
y mataron a los 6 millones de peces que habían en el lago.
What did God say?
¿Qué dijo Dios?
You don't follow my ways, I'm going to take away your food.
no sigues mis caminos, voy a quitarte la comida.
6 million fish are dead.
6 millones de peces están muertos.
Next story.
Próxima historia.
In the country of Ecuador,
En el país de Ecuador,
in Veronica and Eduardo's hometown,
en la provincia donde vive Eduardo y Verónica.
that's where they used to live.
Allí
Right
es donde
there.
vivíamos.
On that hill.
Not on that hill, but close to there.
Well, the Lord is taking the food away from Ecuador.
El Señor les está quitando la comida.
That volcano by Veronica's house,
Ese volcán que está ahí por el lugar de Verónica. You see me there with that hat.
it's been exploding since February 2nd.
Está explotando desde febrero 2.
It has killed all the crops.
Y ha acabado con toda la cosecha.
And the livestock have nothing to eat.
Y el ganado ya no tiene nada que comer.
6 million fish are dead.
6 millones de peces están muertos.
All the people in that province of Ecuador don't have any food to pick.
Y la gente en esa provincia de Ecuador no tiene comida.
Next story. And then here in California,
Y aquí en California
they're recalling 8.7 million pounds of meat.
están llamando 8.7 millones de libras de carne
Because they weren't inspected.
porque no fueron inspeccionadas.
Think the Lord is trying to get your attention?
¿Crees que el Señor te está llamando la atención?
Next prophecy.
Próxima profecía.
In Revelation 13, verse 16 and 17, it talks about the mark of the beast.
En Revelaciones 13, 16, 17 habla de la marca de la bestia.
Getting a chip put in your hand.
Que te van a poner un chip en la mano.
Well, there's a picture of it.
Esta es una fotografía del chip.
That is a picture of a chip in somebody's hand.
Esa es una fotografía del chip en la mano de alguien.
And you can program this chip
Y puedes programar este chip
to have all your passwords,
para tener todos tus pasos, todos tus códigos,
all your bank information.
tu información bancaria.
So when you go to the teller machine
Así cuando vas a la máquina de dinero
to get the Mac machine,
para sacar dinero,
you just stick your hand in
tú pones tu mano
and then you can get your money.
y vas a poder sacar
You
dinero.
don't need a PIN number.
No necesitas un código
You go to the store.
o vas a la tienda.
You want to pay for your food.
Quieres pagar por tu comida.
Just put your hand on the scanner
Solo pones tu mano sobre el escáner
and it'll read your bank information right from that little chip.
y te va a leer la información bancaria desde ese chip.
And don't worry, Uncle Obama can follow you with that chip too.
Y no te preocupes que tío Obama también te puede seguir con ese chip.
Next story.
Próxima historia.
In Luke chapter 16, verse 13,
En Lucas 16, verso 13.
Yeshua says you can't serve two masters.
Yeshua dice no puedes servir a dos señores.
You're either going to serve God or you're going to serve money.
O vas a servir a Dios o vas a servir al dinero.
There's an interesting parallel. Look at that chart on the bottom right.
Hay un paralelo muy interesante. Mira esta fotografía en la parte baja de la pantalla.
In the black,
La línea negra
that was 1929
muestra la economía en 1929,
when the stock market crashed.
cuando el mercado de valores se cayó.
Look at the red.
Mira la línea roja.
That's today.
Esto es en este presente año.
You notice a very interesting parallel?
Notas este paralelo muy interesante.
Exactly matching.
Está encajando exactamente.
Get ready, people.
Prepárense.
The Lord is taking away our food.
El Señor te está quitando la
We
comida.
talked about the blood moons last Shabbat.
Hablamos de las lunas de sangre el Shabbat pasado.
Look what's going to happen to the stock market.
Mira lo que va a pasar con la bolsa de valores.
And why is it happening?
¿Y por qué está pasando
Look at this
esto?
next prophecy.
Mira esta próxima profecía.
Yeshua says you got to build your foundation on His Word.
Yeshua dice que tienes que construir tu fundamento en la palabra,
On the rock.
en la roca.
In this first story,
En esta próxima historia,
I didn't even know that this was around,
yo no sabía que esto,
but there's a museum
que esto existía, pero hay un museo
in Kentucky
en Kentucky
called the National Corvette Museum.
que se llama el Museo Nacional de Corvette.
I didn't know we had a National Corvette Museum.
Yo no sabía que teníamos un museo de Corvette,
But the Chevrolet Corvette is an American car.
Pero el Chevrolet Corvette es un carro
It's
americano,
a car of prosperity.
es un carro de prosperidad,
It's a car of machismo.
es un carro de
You
machismo.
got to be a man to drive a Corvette.
Tienes que ser un hombre para manejar un Corvette.
But it talks about power
Pero habla de poder
and prosperity.
y prosperidad.
Well, on Monday,
El lunes,
the Lord wants to say to America something.
el Señor le quiso decir algo a América.
See, at the National Corvette Museum,
En el Museo Nacional de Corvette,
a sinkhole opened up,
un hueco se abrió
40 feet wide,
de 40 pies de ancho
and it sucked down 8 cars.
y se llevó para adentro 8 carros.
It sucked down the 1 millionth Corvette
Se llevó el Corvette de $1,000,000
and 7 others.
y 7 otros más.
What do you think the Lord's trying to tell us?
¿Qué crees que el Señor nos está queriendo decir?
Your prosperity,
Tu prosperidad,
your power
tu poder
is gone.
se acabó.
Get ready for a new beginning
Prepárate para un nuevo comienzo,
because America is going the wrong way.
porque América está encaminándose en la vía incorrecta.
Now here, look at this next story.
Mira esta próxima historia.
This happened in 2 places in America on Monday.
Esto pasó en 2 lugares en América el lunes.
That used to be a car.
Ese era un carro.
On Monday in California.
El lunes en California,
Now, car accidents are not really too much, right?
los accidentes de carro no significan mucho, ¿verdad?
But when people are driving the wrong way on the highway,
Pero cuando hay gente que está manejando la vía contraria en la autopista,
that's something to take notice of.
es algo que tienes que tomar nota.
In California,
En,
that
Calif-
car there,
en California
that red car,
este carro rojo,
was traveling the wrong way on the highway.
estuvo viajando en la vía contraria en la ruta.
So we have the Corvettes being sucked down,
Vemos que los Corvettes se llevaron
a California wrong way accident,
un accidente en California
and also on Monday
y también el lunes
in Florida
en Florida.
at the same time.
Al mismo tiempo,
Somebody else was driving the wrong way on the highway.
alguien más estuvo manejando en la vía contraria
And you
en
can
la
watch this
ruta.
video on the internet, if your stomach could take it.
Y puedes mirar este video también si
This
estás bien
guy
con el
was
estómago.
flying on the highway.
Este hombre estuvo corriendo mucho en
As
la
soon as he hit,
autopista.
it exploded.
Tan pronto que golpeó, explotó el carro.
What is God trying to say to us?
¿Qué nos está Dios tratando de decir?
Your foundation is gone.
Tu fundamento se acabó.
Your prosperity is going.
Tu prosperidad se fue.
Your power is gone
Tu poder se fue.
because you're going the wrong way.
Porque estás yendo por la ruta equivocada.
Now, why is that?
¿Por qué es esto?
Matthew, the next prophecy,
La próxima profecía.
Matthew 24, verse 12.
Mateo 24, verso 12.
Matthew 24, 12
Mateo 24, verso
says, in
12.
the end of days,
Dice que en el fin de los
the
tiempos,
love of many will grow cold because of distance from God's word.
el amor de muchos se hará distante, se enfriará por la distancia de la Torah.
Here is a picture of a church or an atheist church in Tennessee,
Esta es una fotografía de una iglesia atea en Tennessee,
right in our Bible belt.
en el cinturón bíblico.
There's so many people coming to this atheist church
Hay mucha gente que está asistiendo a esta iglesia atea
that they have to have 2 services now.
que tienen que tener ya 2 servicios.
Our foundation is gone.
Nuestro fundamento se acabó.
They don't talk about God or religion at this church.
No hablan ni de Dios ni de religión en esta iglesia.
They celebrate life.
Ellos celebran la vida.
They celebrate life.
Celebran la vida.
All right, that's it for the news today.
Eso es todo por noticias
There's a
hoy.
lot more.
Hay mucho más,
All right, but if you find this interesting,
pero si nos encuentras
the
interesante,
170 people on the internet last week,
las 170 personas en el internet la semana
please
pasada,
send 5, 10, 500, or $5,000.
por favor manda 5, 10, 500 o $500,000.
Or if you're rich beyond that, don't worry, call me, we'll work out a deal.
O si eres millonario, pues llámame y arreglaremos eso.
Support your ministry here.
Apoya al ministerio.
Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture, truly the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend a day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into his eternal word, not with just 1 or 2 scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of his kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with a reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.